Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Monday. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I know I did. So, today we're going to be talking about effortless payroll, a step by step guide. So, welcome back, financial navigators. Shane Harris here to guide you through the ever crucial, sometimes tricky waters of payroll management. If you've been following along, we've mastered taxes, we've tackled bookkeeping, and today it's all about creating a painless, efficient payroll system. So before we set sail on that, I got to introduce myself. Don't be rude, right? So I'm Shane Harris, as I said, and around here in these social media streets, everybody know me as Shane the Negotiator, and I help coaches, consultants, and service providers who are overwhelmed and lack guidance to achieve true financial freedom. And I do that by providing expert tax and coaching services. That is what I do. That is who I help. Before we get on into that topic, do you guys notice anything different that's going on the screen today? Type it in the chat, put it in the comments if you notice anything different. And if for some reason you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. Welcome to all the new people. Whether you're new here or you've been here before, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. If you subscribe, it helps the channel grow. Also, it helps someone else to see this content. It may not help you at this particular time, or it may not resonate with you, but it might help someone else. You never know. But here it is. So what's different is I got the orange going on. So normally it's blue. My name is highlighted in blue, and the banner that's scrolling across the bottom that's normally in blue. But today we put that other color, that bright orange. You know, Shayla, that bright orange. But if you didn't know, you know today. So, anyways, enough about all of that small talk. Let's get on in here, talk about what y'all came here for, because y'all didn't come here to hear me talking about bright orange colors. So, anyways, what is payroll and why is it crucial? So, payroll isn't just doing and giving out paychecks. It's a comprehensive system managing salaries, withholdings, and benefits, ensuring your team is paid accurately and on time. Why is it crucial? Because it affects your team's livelihood and satisfaction. And non-compliance with tax obligations can cost you hefty penalties. So getting payroll right is non-negotiable. At least it should be non-negotiable for you also. So we're going to go into some common challenges in managing payroll. Payroll can present challenges like adhering to local and federal tax regulations, managing varied pay rates, and ensuring timely payments. So think about the repercussions if, let's just say, Kim, your top performing sales consultant, gets paid late, or if your business is slapped with a fine for inaccurate tax filing. We definitely don't want that. The consequences can range from the motivated employees to a financial and legal troubles. And we don't want none of those problems, do we? Right? So let's move on. Steps 1 and 2, setting up and organizing payroll. So step 1, define your pay period and policies. So decide how often you'll like to pay your team and set clear policies on overtime, bonuses, and deductions. Now, this doesn't always have to be just your team. This can also apply for yourself also, because many of you might be S Corps, which is my favorite tax election is S Corps. You can be paying yourself wages, and this would apply to you also, not just your employees and not just your contractors. So step 2, organize employee information. So gather and oh my gosh, here goes S's again. Gather and systematically store all relevant employee data, such as the W-2s, those pay rates, and bank details, ensuring smooth payroll processing. Now, this right here, you don't want to mess this up. You want to have them fill out that I-9 form, the form the W-4 form that has all of this accurate information on it. Make sure that pay rate is correct, because you don't want to make a mistake in paying your employees or your contractors the wrong wages, because that can be costly. You don't want to be paying them too much, and you don't want to underpay them as well, because that's going to make them very angry. And of course, those banking details, because there's nothing more unexciting about you ready to get your paycheck as an employee or a contractor on Friday or Monday or whatever day, and then they didn't get paid, but you know you sent that payment out and it went to the wrong bank because you didn't double check those numbers for the bank accounts. So you want to have those banking details to be tip top shape, and you want to check and double check. And it, of course, again, I said it ensures a smooth payroll process. Nobody want to have their checks messed up. So steps 3 and 4, calculating and distributing pay. So calculate pay accurately. And this piggybacks off of what I said in step 1. Include base pay, overtime, and bonuses. And don't forget deductions like taxes, insurance, and possible retirement contributions. Now, I have spoken several times in many other lives over the last 2 years, and I talk about as self-employed, you don't have to be a big corporation or one of those big businesses to have retirement set up for your business. You can be a one-man show, which is you and your business by yourself, and you can set up a retirement plan for your business, or you can have multiple employees and set up retirement plans for your employees. Now, your employees will be very happy and very grateful, because they can pay into their retirement plans, like their 401k plans, or those SEP plans that you can have for yourself and your employees, and so many others. And now, I'm not the expert on retirement plans, but I do know a great deal about them. And let's talk about step 4 is distributed pay on time. Again, this piggybacks off of what I said in 1 and 2, whether it's direct deposit or check or cash, ensure that each team member receives the correct amount promptly on payday on time. Now, I know I mentioned it can be direct deposit, it can be checks, and it can be cash. I would strongly advise you from using cash. Now, I know you guys gonna do what you're gonna do, and you don't always listen to Shane the Negotiator. And remember what the saying is: a hard head makes a soft, ooh, you know what, right? So I strongly advise and against using cash for transactions, or paying, especially paying any employees or contractors, because if you don't keep the proper records, how do you know that you actually paid the employee what you're supposed to pay them? How do you know? The employee might come back and say, well, you never paid me. You be like, yes, I did. And then you got an issue on hand. So cash, no. Checks can have a paper trail, and direct deposit, it ain't going through no second party, no third party or whatever. It goes directly from you straight into their bank account. There's no middleman in there to mess anything up. Of course, obviously, if you have to check the direct deposit information, make sure it's going in the right place. So let's go on to step 5 and step 6, record keeping and compliance. So we talked about bookkeeping one-on-one on Friday. So y'all know all about the record keeping, right? So I'm not going to get into that. You know what you need to do at this point. And if you don't know, you might want to get with me so I can help you to know what you need to do in terms of that record keeping. So maintain detailed records. Legally, you're required to keep payroll records for years, and that's 7 years to be exact. You have to keep payroll record for 7 years. Ensure they're accurate and organized and accessible. And I would even hold on to them even longer than 7 years, just to be on the safe side. But that's just me. I would probably keep them for at least 10 years, but that's just me, Shane the Negotiator. I'm going to be meticulous and extra just in case. You never know. But you want to hold on to these records. Now, you might want to play about your books like some of you do, but don't play about these payroll records. You want to be detailed and meticulous when it comes to this, because the IRS might let stuff slide on the business side in terms of your books and your record keeping, but they don't play about these payroll. So keep meticulous record, organized and accessible, so that you don't get into any of these problems later. Step number 6, ensure tax compliance. This involves withholding the correct amount of tax and timely submission of payroll taxes or to relevant authorities, whomever you need to submit this to. So when your employee, when you're working And I'm not talking about 1099 contractors, because if they're 1099, unless they told you to withhold taxes, you're likely not withholding any taxes for them. So I'm talking about if you're paying yourself on W-2 because you have like an S corp or maybe even a C corp, or if you're paying your employees wages. So when you pay your employee, they pay a portion of taxes and you pay the other portion of taxes the business does. So the portion that the employee pays, they don't actually pay it to the IRS when they actually when you issue them their checks and you make the deductions off of for taxes, it's not going directly to the IRS. You're holding that within your financials until it's time to submit those withholdings to the IRS. Usually it's done quarterly, but if depending on the volume of business that you have, you might be having a large amount of revenue that's coming in, and you're distributing a large amount of payroll, your particular state, or for you, it may actually be more often than that. It may be every month. Like I have some clients of mine where it's once a month, it's done. Others, it's quarterly. But you want to make sure you hold on to these withholdings in a safe space that it doesn't get spent. Now, this is not free money for you to borrow and spend when you're running short. This money, if it's withheld from the employee's paycheck, it should be immediately placed aside into a separate fund to withhold for safekeeping. So when the month comes or when the quarter comes and it's time to submit these payroll withholdings, you got the money and there's no problems. You don't want them problems with the IRS when it comes to payroll. They don't play about payroll. And I keep saying that because I want you guys to really understand that. Don't play with payroll. Now we're going to go to tools to ease the payroll process. So to avoid the potential headaches and manual payroll management, consider tools like Gusto, ADP, Paychex, and there's probably a couple of others out there. Those are the most common ones. And of course, there's also QuickBooks. These platforms automate calculations, ensure tax compliance, and generally streamline payroll, making your life considerably easy. Now, Gusto, ADP, and Paycheck, they pretty much gonna handle that, take care of all that for you. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Now, when it comes to QuickBook, if you are doing your own bookkeeping and you decide to do your own payroll is going, QuickBooks is going to help you with payroll. However, if there's an issue with your state, like for instance, I have New York clients that are on payroll, and New York always got extra taxes for everything. So they changed the taxes for something, the payroll percentages, it went up. So QuickBooks is not going to pay those payroll taxes until we make the correct adjustments. So you, as the business owner, if you are using QuickBooks, even if it's full-fledged payroll services in there, when stuff like this come up, they're going to send you a nice little email letting you know what the problem is. And it's your responsibility to go to the state site to go see what the percentage is or whatever the changes is, make those corrections, hand it back over to QuickBooks, and they will go ahead and take it from there. So that is the one thing. When you're doing it yourself, you are responsible for knowing when these things changes and going in there and fix it. They are not going to be able to do that for you. Now, Gusto, ADP, and Paychecks, they may be a little bit different, and they may actually take care of this on your behalf. But QuickBooks, it is not going to do that for you. So if you insist on using QuickBooks, you definitely want to reach out to myself, because I do offer payroll and I do use QuickBooks. So I'm the one who take care of all of that fancy stuff for you. So I'm like a Gusto and ADP and the Paychecks. I'm going to be the one to take care of all of that for you, and you ain't got to worry about it. It's between me and QuickBooks, and we handle it. You don't have to worry about it. So I just wanted to give you that little tip, because oftentimes you coaches, consultants, and service providers, you want to do a lot of things on your own because you bootstrapping and bottlenecking, and you like, I got this, I don't need no help. You wearing all the hats and you thinking you can manage your own books and you can run your own payroll and all of that stuff. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. But I'm just letting you know, when it comes to this payroll, what happens and the things that you're going to be responsible for. And you may not be about that life, and you want to go ahead and elicit that help to get that taken care of. So we're going to wrap this up because, I'm trying to keep it short and sweet, under 15 minutes, 20 minutes-ish. So let's wrap this up. So that wraps up on the effortless payroll management by following these steps and potentially utilizing available tools, you can turn a typical complex process into a breeze, a typical payroll complex process into a breeze, that is. So join me next time where I'll be exploring and the scaling with sanity, tax planning for growth. That is going to be it's going to be pivotal, especially if expansion is on your horizon. If that is one of your to do on your to-do list to expand, even if it's not on your to-do list to expand, tax planning is definitely a game changer when it comes to being a business owner, a successful business owner, a successful CEO, as I talk about quite often. Because remember, I want you guys to win. I don't want y'all out here flapping and watching these videos and you're not really getting the real skinny on what really goes on behind the scenes, because I don't want you out there getting caught with your panties or your manties or your drawers or whatever down when it comes to the IRS with all of these compliance issues and all of that. So not payroll, tax planning is key to growth, and that's going to be coming up next on the list of to-do things we're going to talk about. So until I come back on Friday with that tax planning tip, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you